where we're going to be digging into a few categories, a few areas to be looking at in your workforce strategy. Now, I think the traditional approach has been, how do you schedule people? How many people do you need? But that's not how the work is performed. That's not how the work is done. So that's not really focused on a high performance team, a productive team. That's focused on tasks. So if your team's feeling drained, if you are seeing disengagement, that's reaction mode. That means that your workforce strategy isn't aligned with where people want to go. We're going to be digging into these categories, but feel free to connect with me out on other social media sites or head out to my website for more toolkits, information, or programs. Now, in this type of strategy, we're going to be shifting gears from this survival mode, reacting to turnover, reacting to market conditions, to a strategy that not only leads with energy, it's going to lead the change versus always chasing after it. Now, as we work through each category, you're going to see that I have it through a lens of energy, because it's not just about schedules and staffing, it's about stability, it's about sustainability. Why we come from that lens is because the balance between productivity and engagement and well-being can amplify results. It can create new things you never imagined. It's not just about task completion. It's about how people feel about your work culture, how people interact within your organizations. Are you feeding the energy or are you draining it? Let's review the model for a moment. Workforce energy management isn't about doing more. It's about showing up differently for yourself and for your team. And at the core of the compass is what you work on, how you show up. How are you managing your energy? And then the outer categories is directed at the team, your operations, your work culture. Are you leading the direction of the team? Are you communicating and collaborating on this expedition? How's the team trust and the energy? Is that synergy what you want it to be? And workflow, productivity optimization versus adding more. Let's dig into these categories as we go through the tutorial, and this will begin to guide you on some steps. Now, when I build out workforce energy management programs with you, you might be in one category more than the other. Every client's a little different. Some need major overhauls in their workflow, and that's causing the dysfunction. That's draining most of the energy. Everyone actually gets along pretty nicely. And then there's teams where they have great workflows, but they don't get along. We need to build up that trust and work on that communication. And then there's some teams that they don't even know where they're going. Everyone's lost in the woods on a different adventure. So as we build out this workforce energy management program, I'm going to show you some of the behind the scenes in each category. As we go through these, there's models and activities within each one that I take through teams to lead them from this reactive mode into proactive problem solvers. That's where the energy is. That's where creativity, autonomy, and innovation begins. Navigate, guiding direction of your team. Do we have an awareness of where we're even at and where we need to go? When you talk about staffing planning, are you planning staff based on where you're at today or where you want to be in 5 years? Are you doing position descriptions as if you didn't before? Because the position is not what it has been before. Are you leading direction of your teams by task or by a vision? Awareness of that has its own power. What type of innovative environments, spaces, and discussions are you having? Just a few switches, some lingo changes, and innovation starts to thrive again in your organization. And then are you having solution-oriented discussions, or are you just telling all the time? Because that's a form of micromanaging. We work on a lot of this section with the leaders. Are we all aligned on this journey? And that's how you create adaptive and agile teams. So that's navigate. Are we all aligned in the same direction? Now let's move on to expedition. We all know when you're on a journey, when you're on an adventure, it matters who's on the journey with you. It matters how you're communicating and collaborating. I've been on adventures where it's been a complete disaster, and it was because the people I was around, the poor communication, and the dysfunctional pass-offs. And then I've been on adventures, same circumstances or even worse, and it was a delight. We conquered the hurdles, and we made it to the end. But we did it together. We communicated. We worked functionally with one another, and we had enough understanding of each other's work styles to thrive in the chaos. That's the difference of the expedition. So how are we collaborating? Are you having healthy discussion? And by that, I mean, are you welcoming conflict in a healthy way, or do you avoid it? Is there actual connection, or do we just do things to do things? And then is there consistency, or are you changing and letting every department to drive itself? Everyone has a different priority, initiative, and we're working way harder than we need to. So that's expedition. What is the collaboration and communication between everyone? Now let's move to S. This is synergy. This is the team trust, the energy. Are we reliable? And if not, why? And you will find out there's clunks in your system, in your pass-offs, that this leader says this thing and this leader says that thing. So it's not super reliable. Again, going back to the consistency in the expedition category. Are we recognizing employees in the right way? I have found that we reward the wrong behaviors and then we're surprised by those outcomes. Well, guess what? What you measure gets the focus, and what you reward, that's what grows. So where are you spending your time and recognition in to the places that you want to go, that the outcomes that the company wants by the end of the year? Accountability. This is a huge one because we're avoiding conflict, because we're not having the right conversations. Accountability falls short. And this goes all the way into meetings, action owners, due dates. This is all trust factors in human nature. Can I rely on you to do a good job? Can I rely on you to have my back when I need it? And then engagement. There's lots of factors in here. So psychological safety, but are employees in the right roles, right seats in which they're engaged? There's a natural motivation and a natural energy in this when you can channel it. So this is a great category for a third-party person like me to come in and see how meetings are working, see how people are collaborating, because leaders are around them every day. So you might not be seeing the little behavior things that are picked up by someone who doesn't work within your organization. So that is synergy. My favorite category, because I come from manufacturing, a world of change, continuous improvement, is workflow. And this is productivity optimization. We're not going to add more. We're going to optimize the things that matter. That means, where's our energy going? A lot of times I found it goes to rework. It goes to ineffective pass-offs. It goes to just waiting for another person when it could have all been done in the system in the first place. Where is your energy going? Where's your energy leaks? Are you addressing them? When you start opening this can of worms, it's interesting what the drainers are. It's not that we're not getting paid enough. It's not that we don't have flexible schedules. It's operationally how you function. And how you begin here is you just address the big energy drainers first, and then you slowly window down the list. But what you'll see is in this energy allocation, it takes flight of its own when you begin these fixes. If you fix a big energy drainer, then people want to fix more, because naturally they feel better. Naturally they want to come into work. Naturally they become problem solvers. So energy allocation is a big section of workflow that we focus on. Prioritization and alignment of that. Is everyone on the same path? Do we have each other's back during our busy season, or do we continue to overload people during their busy season? What are the priorities right now, and across the organization, how we support one another in that? Integration. Do you leave a meeting and you wrote all your notes on a piece of paper, and now you go and you're going to type an email to everyone with the follow-up notes, and then they're going to type it into a system? How many steps do you do when it could be one step? This is integration. Do you have a lot of telephone tag within your organization? The rework, the ineffective passives also go into this section of integration. And then flow state. People have a natural flow state. They have a skill. You hired them for something. Are you utilizing it? Flow is this middle ground where skill meets the right amount of challenge. You're not bored. You're not overwhelmed. You're in the zone. And there's so much natural energy in that, and innovation and creativity. And people can be in that for a long time and not burn out. It is natural productivity. That's the sweet spot. So we talk about that in teams of what is the flow state. When we talk about workforce strategy, is where is their natural flow and work style? You might have a slow-paced person in a fast-paced role. You might have a fast-paced person in a slow-paced role. We look at job matching, disc work styles, internal motivators. How do they run? And how does what you need to get done fit into that? That's flow state. You match that up. So when we talk about workforce management tutorial, a lot goes into it, but every piece matters, because we're not just talking about staffing, time management, We're talking about productivity and energy because it's sustainable, because humans aren't machines. They're people with natural patterns, passions, and limits. I want to challenge you as you dig into your workforce strategy that it's not about the task. What if energy wasn't just drained throughout the workday, but protected and designed? What if teams didn't need to be rescued because they were equipped? Workforce energy management is your trail map. The strategy is the workforce. This is your compass and sense of direction on a way forward. Let's connect to see what a workforce energy management program looks like for your organization.